It has now been 4 weeks since I planted these sweet potatoes, and all I have them is in water. Of course, I have them in Berkey filtered water, not tap water. To me, they're growing really well. I measured this stem here yesterday, this slip, and it was 13 inches long. So when they get that long, you can start breaking them off and putting them in their own jar of water. And then what you do is you let them root in there for a few weeks, and then you put them in the garden when it's nice and warm outside. By putting them in this water and letting them grow roots here, you give them a nice big start being a healthy and strong plant. Now, I think they've grown so well because of a few things that we've done. One is the water. The water is not chlorinated because we've run it through the Berkey. It still has minerals in it because we run it through the Berkey. So it's not distilled water and it's not reverse osmosis water. We could also use rainwater. That would work well also. Now, I had mentioned in the first video that I was going to change out the water as it got murky, but what I found out is that this plant here drinks about that much water a day. I have to fill this up 3 or 4 times a day because it drinks so much water. I found the more roots a plant has, the more water it drinks. And in addition to that, the more water it drinks, the clearer the water is. So I only had to change this water once, I think maybe twice, in any of these, because it's drinking the water so fast that it's not allowing any algae to grow in the water. So the plant that has the most amount of roots has the cleanest water, and then this is the second cleanest, and so forth. Here's something interesting to note, is that the biggest potato has produced the most amount of slips, and the smallest potato took the longest time to get roots. And something that's really interesting here is that it finally got some roots, but also underneath it's growing a slip underwater. That slip was completely underwater when it started growing. You can see just the top of it. That's new this morning. Last night that was completely underneath water. But there is the slip, and it grew the slip first, and then roots have grown out from that slip, and then a lot of roots from the rest of the plant. So I don't really know if there is a top or bottom because we got slips growing underneath the water with the roots. Again, I think the things that have really helped these plants take off is the heat mat that we have them on, and we've got 2 Jumpstart grow lights above them, and we have them drinking the clean filtered Berkey water. So with that combination, they've really taken off. We leave these Jumpstart lights on for 16 hours a day, and we have them on this Sylvania timer right here. The lights come on at 6 a.m. and then they go off at 10 p.m. at night. And so what I'm going to do right now, since we're running out of headroom here, is I'm just going to take this slip right here, just take it at the base and break it right off at the base. Just like that. And I'm going to take this and just put it right in the water. And there's my first official slip right there. And I'll leave this in here with the rest of the jars. So we'll see how that slip looks in 2 more weeks. See if it has roots down at the bottom, and see how these other slips are looking, and if we haven't moved some of these over to this jar here. So I'm pretty excited. Really, I'm just a few weeks away from getting these into the ground and having some beautiful foliage out in my garden and growing food underground. If you haven't started your sweet potato slips yet, it's not too late. You might consider getting a heat pad, using some filtered water. If you don't have a Berkey, let your water sit out for 24 hours so it can dechlorinate, and you may consider getting some jump starts, but this combination seems to work really well. And these are half-gallon mason jars. So you want to get some of those because you can tell how much space those roots are taking up. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if ye are prepared, you shall not fear. And if you start your own sweet potato slips, they'll just cost you a couple dollars and you can have all the sweet potatoes that you can eat.